most of my colleagues, the classical musicians, they are not that narrow-minded as normally people think about the classical musicians. If you just drink booze for 10 days on a row and you don't take care of yourself, don't sleep enough and don't make any sports, you start to feel really bad mentally and tired, and everything is like If I think myself, I would say that I've kept my feet quite well on the ground. You know, I have always had some other life as well than this. It's never been like a living the dream for me. It's been like a challenge, and let's see step by step what's life bringing to you. Basically, we didn't have an aim to base Apocalyptica. We were just like a bunch of friends, and we want to play something together and something fun. Music is just like a kind of language which transforms the moods from people.
This is Surfer of Life, and I am your podcast host, Tommy. Today I'm sitting here with musician Paavo Lötjönen, who is a member in the famous band called Apocalyptica. You come from a musical family and were influenced by your parents in various different type of music genres. And you found cello in 6 years old.
Yes.
That's been your instruments ever since. Later you went to Sibelius Academy, where you started experimenting different type of classical music, and you were combining heavy metal with the classical music, and you found your band members in Sibelius Academy. This led to the famous band called Apocalyptica. You have your own unique style of playing, combining the classical music and heavy metal music. You've been touring now 22 years around the world, including over 50 different countries, over 1,000 shows. You've sold millions of records. Your band has reached #1 in the US rock chart. You have played with many famous artists, including Till Lindemann from Rammstein, Corey Taylor of Slipknot, Dave Lombardo from Slayer, and James Hetfield from Metallica. You enjoy being in the nature, and you have been doing some extreme sports. We just spoke about it. You were also parachuting at one time, skydiving, water skiing. Paavo, so glad to have you here. You're just about to start touring 1 month, but you squeezed some time to come here at Surfer of Life. Welcome, Paavo.
Thank you. You said it's really compact. Yeah, that's basically my life. Yeah. So I'm coming from the music family, so my both parents were classical musicians. My father was solo clarinet player in Finnish National Opera, and nowadays he is painter and artist. So artist family, and my mother is a singer. So I'm like a black sheep in a classical meaning, and so I turned to the darker side, to the metal. Yeah, but I'm still doing the classical music when I'm practicing, and time to time small parties for families, family and relatives. I play some classical music, but basically just apocalyptic and metal music, or rock metal music. How do you call it? So now here we are. Actually, this location is my gym.
Yes, it is.
And then, as you see, I'm still having my training outfit, and I just made my practice, so I'm still a little sweating. So, sorry about that.
It's all right. Sweat is all good. What about the practicing? You work out. How often do you work out, actually?
My life is really hectic. So last year we were touring over 150 days, and whenever I'm home, I try to, recover from the tours and make some exercise, and I'm living quite close here, just like a 5 minutes drive from here, and I try to come here five days a week. Many times I'm not doing really like a heavy exercise, mainly just for fun, because I like to work out and take care of myself, and it's good opposite. Good gives a good balance after the hard touring life. Even the touring life nowadays, it's not like a Mötley Crüe kind of a rock and roll, sex and drugs and rock and roll life. No, not really. But for example, now we are going to United States for 1 month. We have 24 shows in 1 month. So basically every day a show, and then there's a couple of travel days where we drive 1,000 miles a day. So it's physically quite hard, and to recover from that, you really need to make something for your body and take care of yourself. And the gym is really good for me. And this gym is like a small, and many people here, and it's a lot of joy.
Does it affect you as a musician if you are in bad shape, physically in bad shape? If you're not in a good condition, does it affect your playing on stage?
Of course. First of all, if you are in physically bad shape, you are mentally in a bad shape. That's all. In a touring life, you can see that it's the same thing. If you just drink booze for 10 days on a row, and you don't take care of yourself, don't sleep enough, and don't make any sports, you start to feel really bad mentally and tired, and everything is like, nothing is fun anymore. And so if you take care of yourself, you stay positive, you're better shape mentally, then you are more concentrated, you like what you're doing, and you like playing, you like performing, and of course it's then music and performing, it's giving the energy around you, and it's a kind of we are talking about the energy and the intensity and the moods and emotions, and in a good shape you can always show the lighter side of the emotions, and people who comes to see the show, they want to get good uplift to their life, and I can't give them the uplift if I'm in a bad mood myself. Music, it's not only playing, it's like creating something, bigger things and emotions which are hidden to the under the music, and music is just like a kind of language which transform the moods from people to people.
So
that was quite philosophical.
Yeah, that's good.
But in on those cases, your question was that
being in physical good shape.
Physically in good shape. Yeah. Mentally, physically good shape. It's same as mentally good shape. Means you can be better performer. You can like it better, and then you can proceed good show for the audience. And that's the reason why I'm on the tour, and to perform for the people, and that gives me a motivation to be on the tour and make that job. Yeah. It's my profession.
Let's travel a little bit back in time. Tell me about the band called The Motherfuckers.
Yeah, you made a good research. Yeah, I was young and I needed the money. No, no. I was 14, or 13, or 14 years old, and with my classmates we performed. We got a band, and we were calling ourselves the Motherfuckers. In Finnish language, it turned to be Fuckers.
Okay.
Yeah, and our classmates, they called us Fuckers. And we called ourselves Fuckers as well. And yeah, I played bass. My good friend Mikko, he played drums and he was singing, and we played many kind of music styles, from Bach to Kiss and Juice Leskinen and Finnish rock songs, and we got a couple of gigs. One gig was for Lions Club, happening, and we needed to change the name, so we were the Big Ben.
Okay.
So hilarious, 14 years old boys. That's the thing to do, and so we've been laughing our ass off after these years with talking with the guys. Of course, I'm still a good friend with my old mates, and my son, he's in the same age at the moment.
All right.
Now he's 12. His band name is ATM, Alatikkurilan Mäkkäri.
So McDonald's in the lower Tikkura.
and yes, and maybe they said that the official name is at this moment.
All right.
So that's the,
it's a clever way to put it.
It's,
as you were performing in Lions Club.
If you need to have a Lions Club show, then you have that name.
What were your parents' reactions when you told them classical music background and you told them we are the Motherfuckers?
I guess the same reactions that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
That I'm just laughing. You should not criticize that kind of things.
No.
The boys should do the boys' things. And my parents, they were really like open-minded. My father, even he was like classical musician. He was listening pop, rock, everything. And actually, he taught me all the music styles, and I was listening his LPs, and he had a lot of, all the Beatles, Pink Floyds, and that kind of LPs he had, and Diana Ross and Donna Summers and everything. Yeah, most of the musical background I've learned from there.
Yeah. I know more about sports than music, way more. And in my opinion, children should try different kind of sports and variation of like multiple sports. Do you think it's the same in music that you did, and as your father taught you, that you see different genres and you experience a lot of different type of music to be able to be as you are, for example, right now?
I think my father was clever to present many kind of things and music styles, but he was interested of those himself as well. And most of my colleagues, the classical musicians, they are not that narrow-minded as normally people think about the classical musicians. They like many kind of music styles, and so it's you should have a perspective to know the things. You don't need to like everything. It's like a civilization and culture to know the things around you. So don't stay narrow-minded.
That's a good advice.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, later after the MF, you were in Sibelius Academy and you found your future band members there, Apocalyptica. You founded Apocalyptica there, and you started as a classical Metallica tribute band. How did you go from there? What was the start for that?
Basically we didn't have an aim to base Apocalyptica. We were just like a bunch of friends, and we wanted to play something together and something fun. There was in Finland there was already years behind. There was like a tradition to play some tangos and some other rock songs with a cello ensemble, and so we just spread it a bit further, and we played Jimi Hendrix and that kind of stuff before, but then we want to do some thrash metal songs as well, because we love those. And it was just for fun and therapy, and we played for our friends in the music camps and student parties. We didn't have any aim or target to make it bigger, and but it just happened. Once one Kari Hynynen from Zen Garden Records, now there's Suomen Musiikki, he asked for he saw one show in Teatro Metal Club, and he asked for an album, and we were thinking that okay, if you pay the bill, let's try it. It's like an interesting project, and we were planning that we do the album. It's a project, and maybe play a couple of shows, 5-6 shows, and then that's it.
But something different happened.
It was like a surprise after surprises, and so already 5th show we played as a support to Metallica in Helsinki, 2 evenings.
How did it make you feel? You just started and it was just for fun, and you played like tribute music for Metallica, and suddenly 5th show you're up on the stage warming up Metallica.
Yeah, it was unreal. Yeah, unreal feeling. I wasn't ever like a super big Metallica fan.
Okay.
I like rock music overall, and so in that sense, it wasn't as like a dream come true.
Okay.
So, but it was a lot of fun and exciting, and of course we were like experienced as performers, because we were playing a lot of concerts as a classical musician since we were 6 years old. So performing is nothing new, but of course it was a bit different for the metal audience, and who was shouting and like cheering up, and the audience was even really positive for us. Our own boys supporting the Finnish boys supporting Metallica in Helsinki, and it was unreal feeling. And we met Metallica guys that time, and since that we've been in contact with those.
Yeah.
And Eka was even playing in Lars' wedding parties.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a real connection.
Yeah, which been like all these years after that, and so 20 years we've been knowing those guys. And the album was released all over the world. Suddenly it was selling. Now it's sold like almost 2 million copies in the first album, and but kind of way it gave us a possibility to go forward and like doing the second album and create kind of new kind of genre, new music style.
Did it have any different kind of impact on you? You saw that, okay, 1 million albums sold. Did it affect you as a person at all?
It's hard to say what has it done.
Yeah.
Of course it has. Starting to do the profession and touring, and people, cheering up and watching you like on the higher position, but I wasn't, I was already like 23 years old.
Yeah.
I wasn't that young anymore. Yeah, so luckily I was a bit older.
Yeah.
The other guys, Perttu was only 16 or 15 that time. So a couple of first years we just let him to, grow up a couple of years, and he joined the band later.
Yeah. I think that was the clever way to do it.
Yeah, still he had a problem in the beginning. Nowadays he is good. But yeah, of course there's some effect.
Yeah.
But if I think myself, I would say that I've kept my feet quite well on the ground. I have always had some other life as well than this. It's never been like a living the dream for me. It's been like a challenge, and let's see step by step what's life bringing to you. And as an Apocalyptica, we have never had like a master plan that now we aim for the big stages and for let's be the main act in the Wacken open air festival for 100,000. That wasn't kind of plan. And so we always went step by step, never had too big expectations, and that's clever, then you're not disappointed if you go step by step. And
sorry.
yeah, and the first 3-4 albums, or especially 3 first albums, we never, every time when we did the second next album, it was like maybe the last one. Now we've done 8 albums, studio albums, and touring 22 years, and now it feels like that it's hard to go back to the classical world already. So maybe this is our profession now.
Yeah.
But 22 years of touring and playing the shows, we are really, really super thankful that it's a long career as a rock musician already. And we feel ourselves really like a kind of bad word, blessed. But
it feels like you've been able to focus on the present moment, as you said, that you're not planning the future so far. And it seems like it affects people in a negative way when they're just thinking about the future, what's coming, and I don't know, it depends on the persons, I guess, but I want to receive this and I want to be in the high status, and it might actually drop you down.
I call that American attitude.
Okay.
What do you mean? People are all the time saying, I can do it. And they have not even a clue how to do it. And so in Finnish, you call it hybris. You have a lot bigger expectations of yourself that you can even do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So step by step, it's my advice.
You think
my way, step by step, and thankful for everything which I've reached.
Is this attitude, staying in the present, been one of the reasons that you've been able to stay as a group for 22 years already?
Maybe, yes. And of course, you got to learn all the time, and you need to go to yourself and be critical to yourself, and always ask yourself that, is this okay what I'm doing, and can I do it better, and is there something I should change?
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a good advice.
Yeah.
Always there's chance for improvement.
Yeah. For example, being 7 weeks in a bus with the same guys, it's a big social challenge, and many times you need to watch the mirror to yourself. That is there something I can do better, and maybe there's a time to grow up in some things and stay. That's the way to stay friends together, and keep the motivation touring life, and
How has the touring changed during this 22 years?
In the beginning, the world music life has been changed a lot, because in the first 4 or 5 years, we were really lucky that we got a really good album sales, and we got some money from there, and we were living with the album sales. Basically, the touring was not bringing the money. We were driving around the Europe with a van and station wagon, and playing quite small shows. And for example, once we had like a 3-week German tour, and we were like cheering up, yeah, we got some money from the tour.
Okay.
So it wasn't on the minus side. So we didn't need to pay anything about that tour, and so we earned maybe, was it 10 no, not even 10 euros per head per show. It was like 5 euros per show per head. That was the income. Yeah, so that was the reality. Of course, during the years, then we got some bigger success, and step by step we were going to the bigger audiences and the bigger venues, and got some good festival slots, and started to tour with a nightliner and flying, and so economically it's been getting better and better, and surprisingly, even after 22 years, now we are playing the shows around the world, and there's sold out shows and beautiful halls and venues, and people are standing ovations in the final end in the shows, and it's feels really super great, that maybe we have done something right during the years, but you never know. Next year maybe everything is gone, but basically you should keep ourselves. We should keep ourselves in a good shape, and that we can provide a good show for the people, and then I'm sure the people would love to come to see the show in the future as well. Yeah.
Have you had to change your mindset a bit after getting a family? You have 3 children, and
yes.
What about the touring after that? You got your kids.
I have 3 kids. Of course, it's challenging.
Yeah.
When you have 7 weeks tour, and then you have wife at home with a 2 years old and one just born baby, like 2 months, and hearing the stories that she's really tired and frustrated and lonely, and you are there like on the other side of the planet. It's easy for me, for this, but it's hard for her, and she has done also big job, to give me a possibility to make my career.
It's not a very good good position to give them a call back, and it's been awesome here. Everything is so great. Yeah. People are cheering, and I'm living a dream.
Yeah, great parties, drinking beer till 6 o'clock in the morning, and nice girls around, and good parties, and fantastic shows. I'm tired. I have not slept, and wife says that I have not slept for 3 days. And I'm changing the diapers. Yes. Luckily now my kids are a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Like 14, 12 and 10, and so it's already different challenges. But yeah, in that point, it's really important thing that the motivation on the road is good. If the shows are bad, and you know that it's not fun, if some for agent or managers has not done their job, if the tickets are not selling well, that there is not enough like marketing or advertising, and if there is not enough people on the audience, and if the income is really bad on the road, it's really eats your motivation.
How do you push through that resistance during those times?
It's really frustrating if you realize that this is a really shit tour. We don't earn any money from this one, and I better stay home with my wife and kids. That I'm so much more needed at home than on the road playing these shitholes. But I've seen those moments as well, and it's not. Nowadays I try to do everything to avoid that kind of situations.
How do you cope with that situation then?
It's and not that well. Yeah. If you are really frustrated and you can't do anything for that, you just sit down and be frustrated. Time heals, maybe. Yeah. Drink a couple of more beers.
You have any other?
Which is not really clever on that point.
No. You have any other methods? Do you do any meditation? Do you exercise during those moments when you feel very frustrated or anything like that?
I guess we have a rule in our band, Apocalyptica. It's been already for 15 years that we are not allowed to drink any alcohol before the shows.
Okay.
Not even single beer. So it's a zero tolerance. Yeah. And that's maybe one of the reasons why Apocalyptica still exists. If you are really frustrated on the tour, I've seen so many bands on that situation, and they start to drink, and the shows goes worse and worse, and they are tired, and then they start to hate each other, and then they start to fight on the bus, and then the tour's going bad, and so better way the zero tolerance with that, and then instead of that, we are making some exercise and sports. My colleagues, Mikko and Antero, they are crazy runners. Antero, he's like a triathlon, half, not professional, but real like active triathlonist and Ironman. He has done even like a long way Iron.
Okay, the real one.
Real one, Ironman a couple of times, and he can. Mikko and Antero, they can run like a 20 kilometers or even 30 kilometers before the show as a warm up. They are crazy, and so that's their way to keep their head in a good shape. I'm not, I'm not really like a runner type. I've been trying to do that time to time, but last 4 years I have had like injuries with my feet, so it's been quite bad 5 years now. Okay. But still, I try to make some exercise.
What do you
work out?
Do for preparation for yourself? Let's say, put it like this: your tour is not doing so well, but you have to find the motivation somehow because you need to perform for the people. And as you said already earlier, that you are there for the crowd and you want to give them a good show. What do you do?
that's the one of the like a basic points on as a performer. I have always the feeling whenever I go to the stage, maybe it's like a small club or it's like a huge stage in the festival for 100,000 people or 100 people in a small club, I'm always jumping to the stage like I'm jumping from the airplane.
Okay.
That I need to give everything. It's 100%. Or 99. Yeah. That's the only way to make it. And you know, perform is actually one of the not really good word, cause you are okay, or should I say more like the acting. It's not performing. Is not acting the emotions. Performing should be like a more like a really feeling the emotions and the music. And time to time, you can't catch the fire, but you need to try it hard, hold it every time, and that's the key for the good motivation on the stage. That you always give everything on the stage.
Are you ever nervous before the gigs?
Many times, yeah. Actually, I'm not really like a natural performer. Even now, I'm scared to death to talk for the cameras. There's some, yeah, all around. Yeah, maybe that goes for the personality. I've never felt really like relaxed performing. I've always been like a bit tensed and, you know, excited.
How do you overcome that fear then?
You know, it comes from the routine. So, when I was younger, I was so scared time to play for the audience that I couldn't play.
Okay.
That's so I couldn't. I provide maybe 50% of that level or quality. I would perform normally. For instance, some exams in Sibelius Academy, I was so excited that it was totally like a went really like a bad, because I was scared to death. And then if you are scared to death of performing, you can't really go to the music, and you know, you can't like free yourself on the stage for music and playing, and then so everything is, you know, stuck and not really like a natural. And you know, I even tried some beta medicine.
Okay.
But that made me I'm really sensitive for all the, you know, medicines and alcohol. I drink one beer, I'm totally drunken with one beer.
Yeah.
But I'm sensitive for the, you know, substances. So it didn't fit for me. So the beta made me just like lose, even more uncontrolled.
Okay.
And so, but maybe the Apocalyptica has done some good for me on that sense, that we played almost 1,500 shows.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of shows. And we've found a good routine for the playing. And nowadays I'm not scaring. Time to time I'm a bit tensed if there's like a kind of important gig or big gig. but I'm not anymore like a scared to death. Yeah, but it comes from the routine that I've made a really good like a rehearse, and I know what I'm doing. We played at this show already now 100 times, and that I know the songs, and I know that I know how to do this, and but of course every time can happen something. You break the string on that critical moment when you should play the solo, and that takes your concentration away, and then it's hard to collect yourself after that failure. And I'm already that old that I don't care that much anymore about being excited. Yeah.
There's some similarities in sports and music in that way.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. I've experienced it myself as a hockey goalie, that you're really scared of losing, or maybe you're just so nervous that when the game starts, your body doesn't function at all. It's so stiff, and maybe the first shot comes and maybe they miss the net, and then you're like, whew. Then you start to relax. Or maybe if you make a first save, then you relax. Is it same in music? You said that maybe the string is broken. Can you catch it after maybe hearing a good tune or something, or how you recover from that situation?
Yeah, it comes step by step. Yeah. Slowly you got the feeling that now it's getting better. But playing is it's like a sport. Playing that instrument, it's really technical and sensitive about the things. For instance, cello playing, everything is, you got to feel your instrument. If you miss the note with 1 millimeter, it's out of tune. And for example, if that's explain
it's good.
For example, if there's like a big jump from here to there to find one note, if you scare that maybe I'm not hitting the right note, you never hit the right note. You need to know that I have a relaxed feeling and strong will. I go there and I know it's there, and then it's there. Yeah. I guess the same as in sports, that you have, you need to have like a self-confidence, yeah, to know that I will make it. Then you will make it. If you are scared of that, you will never make it. And when you play the show, there's like 1,000 of small things. And you need to know that all the time that you make it now, and you make it now. You can't think about it. You just do it. Nike.
Yeah.
Yes, Nike slogan. Yeah, you just do it.
How important is hard practice during these 22 years? Still, you've been playing 1,500 shows. But I guess you still need to continue practicing all the time.
I should practice more.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, of course you need to do that all the time. First of all, of course, my body is getting older. I need to take care of the body that when I start to play the 2.5 hour show, that I don't break anything, all my muscles, that there is no tendonitis coming or cramps or something like that. So the basic fit. I should be in a shape, but also the small things, the playing condition is there well, and then you find that if you practice more, then you are more confident to reach your 100% level.
You said that you can't really play and act. So the performing and acting is an incorrect word. How emotional you get actually on the stage, because you are there all open, just by yourself.
I see many times like young bands, young playing. So they've been, especially in America, they've been learning in the front of mirror the the face, and the way to play, to how to perform. It's so funny,
Can you hear it on the sound if it's not genuine?
Maybe not sound, but for performing is so much more than just the sound. It's, as I told you, it's giving the energy.
Yeah.
And if you are fake, all the 1,000 people can see that you are fake.
There's no connection.
There's no mercy. The people can see if it's fake. So you need to be real, and that comes only if you are like really what we are doing.
You're playing very emotional music. I've been listening to it. How emotional actually the crowd gets during your show?
That's the most fantastic part, that if the people can reach the feeling and the emotions, and that's one of the best, present for us, if we can see that they have reached some emotions and maybe crying there in the audience. I think it's always interactive thing when we are on the stage. If there's a band and the individual players, and then there's like an audience, and that audience is not just like 1,000 people. There's full of individuals, and we should get the connection to the individuals, not for the crowd. And when we found the individuals, then you have everybody.
Okay, that's interesting.
And the music is of course the glue, the connection. We got to, on the stage, we need to find the connection with the music, step to the mood, jump to the flow of the river of music. And then if we are in the mood and find the individuals, we can all together, we can find a good vibe in the hall. And that's the thing which makes the magic, and that's why the people want to come to see the good shows. And if we find the good vibe and that common feeling together, and that everybody's like, yeah, what a good time, and then that's the point when the people have found the uplift to their lives.
What is
to their
feeling?
everyday life? It's uplifting. It's not going only work and going to shop and eat and go to sleep. Yeah. You need some high points in your life, and having fun time to time, and that's one of the way to have some uplift, to go to the concert, for example.
Yeah, exactly. How is your own feeling after a show like that, when everything was connected, you and the crowd, and we're just in the flow?
Yeah, of course, it's fantastic. That's the thing why I'm still a professional performer after 22 years.
Are you ever scared that when this is all over, that you don't get those highs anymore? Have you ever thought about that?
Of course, I'm not scared. I'm sure I would miss that. But luckily, I have so many other things in my life as well, that I have a passion, and so I'm not scared of that at all.
That's very
good.
But
I'm sure I will miss that when everything's over.
Tell me about your passion. What do you do outside Apocalyptica? I know you've been teaching music as well, and a ski instructor. Am I correct?
Yes, that was when I had the time. Skiing overall, Alpine skiing, has been maybe the biggest passion in my life. I started when I was 9 years old. Already time when the skiing was not even the hip thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been giving me a lot of joy in my life, and I've been really like passionate for alpine skiing, and so I never made any professional training or competitive way of skiing, but I just like a free skiing and loving it as a sports, even physically. And when I was a small kid, I just went to the woods alone with my mini skis first, and then later I even had some kind of telemark skis, and I just went to the forest. In Finland, it's great that there's some neighborhood forests and some small hills, and I just went to there skiing and made some runs and downhills and then climbing up, and I love that. I really loved that. Maybe that's also the being outside in the nature and alone. Even I'm a quite social personality. There's always the other side that I really need, like being alone and the peace on my own, and that was one of the way.
Is there any similarities, like sensing and feeling the nature and music and your instrument?
Of course, with my skiing hobby, I went further and further, and I've been, skiing the big mountains in Alps, and climbing the top of the mountains, and skiing some couloirs, and like a real going to Chamonix and classic places over there, and you can feel the power of the mountains, or the power of the nature itself, and that gives me an uplift in my life. I think that this is fantastic. This is fantastic thing, and maybe in music we try to reach the same things. That's fantastic, and that's really great, and this gives me a feeling of power and how great the life is. Yeah, there's many kind of things. I can't stop wondering how fantastic it's in here. Quite positive thing, but yeah. If I go to the Finnish archipelago, or just like yesterday, I went to the Finnish Nuuksia forest and walking there for 2 hours, and it was just like, this is so great, this is so fantastic. I really love it. And then when I go to the mountains, it's seeing how big and powerful those mountains are, and how small I am myself. These mountains will stay here forever, or almost forever, but I will go away soon. But I will enjoy these mountains now.
I love mountains. Mountains are awesome. They're just amazing. As you said, you really feel humble there.
Yeah, humble, and I'm small, but I'm still worth something. Yeah.
But Nuuksia is quite nice as well.
Yeah,
I was there just a while ago, and I was amazed. But why don't I come here more often?
Yeah,
it's a great place to
It's
go.
in Helsinki. It's fantastic. From my house, it's 15 minutes drive. I'm already in Nuuksia.
Not far.
It's really fantastic, and time we go with my boys. We go for sleeping one night there take a hammock, put it on the trees, and make some,
nice.
and sleep there for overnight. That's really great.
You are a very successful musician, and your band is very successful. What's the best part of being a successful musician?
I've never. Yeah, that's it. I've never thought that the success itself is really important for me.
No.
Of course, it's a great thing.
Is it more that you're able to do what you love?
It gives me a possibility to continue. Especially nowadays, it's not that simple. I can't just. It's really hard to see that my like young rock musicians or colleagues, how difficult it's to start the career. Yeah.
What would be your advice for these 15-year-old kids who want to be rock stars?
I should not tell too much. Go for it, yeah. And be so stupid that continue. Yes, it's they should have a passion, yeah. Don't think too much, yeah. Go for it, but don't waste whole your life for trying. If there's no success coming after 10 years, don't use whole your life for that one to read something you can't never get.
Is it important to follow your passion and do the passionate things in your life?
It's good if, in a certain point, if it's not ruining your life in a way. Because I've seen also many people who try to find their success and they can't give up, and then they are really going down because they can't choose another path. There's always options in our life. I'm still thinking that what shall I do after the Apocalyptica career? What's my next job?
Always a new goal somewhere to reach for.
Yeah.
Or but something
yes.
amazing to do.
Yeah. Oh.
It's been amazing to have you here, man.
Thanks.
So I've learned a lot. I've experienced something that I haven't experienced yet in this couch or chair or whatever you call it. It's been fascinating.
Nice talking with you.
Yeah, I have a couple of more questions for you. And one is that what makes you feel down? You seem like a pretty enjoyable person, but what makes you feel down?
When people don't care. I'm a person who wants to give all the good for the people. And if I see people who don't give a fuck for the other people and just think too much of themselves. Of course, I'm thinking myself as well, and it's difficult. It's not that easy thing to do, especially if you are on the really living on the edge. It's a difficult thing. Yeah, of course. Yeah, as a parent, I try my best, but still my teenager boys, they don't believe what I'm trying to tell them. That makes me down. I'm not good enough for that. This one, yeah,
that's the hard life. School parenting.
That's really hard school. Yeah, that's a big challenge at the moment in my life. Teenagers, but I might survive.
You will, for sure.
Yeah.
On the contrary, what makes you happy? The surfer of life is all about as well having fun. So I want to always ask is what makes you happy?
Happy. Joy makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reasons for the joy, there's a lot of, beautiful smile with beautiful weather, or really fantastic rainy weather. Good wind. Yeah, beauty itself. Yeah. You can find beauty everywhere. That makes me fun. Like, I'm really happy.
Yes. Thank you, Paavo.
Yeah.
Honored to have you here. Thank you for sharing your time.
Yeah. Thanks to you.